Hello, good evening, everyone. Yes, we're live for today's Women's Sports Wednesday. So, for all those joining us now, please kindly tell me your name, tell me where you're joining us from. I would like to know the first person to join this section. So, let me know if you're live with us. Whether you're joining us on the Facebook page or Instagram, or we are joining us from the Facebook page, LinkedIn, or YouTube, please kindly let us know. Tell us your name and tell us where you're joining from. Oh my goodness. We have our executive from Tanzania. Diana Rose, you're welcome. Thank you for joining this section. I want to see the first five set of people that are going to join this section. So don't forget to tell us the city where you're joining us from. We want to know where you're watching us live from, whether you're watching us on the Untamed Nigeria Facebook page or the Untamed YouTube channel, or you're watching from Wamaka handle on LinkedIn. Kindly let us know. Oh, we have Mrs. Ifoma joining us from Asaba. Mom, I thought you were still in Abuja. So let's do a very quick reminder. Let's tell all our people that we are live. They need to join us yet because we already have our special guest speaker waiting for us to start. So let's do a quick reminder. Please ask all your friends to join us. Ask all your community members to join us. Fantastic. We have Rebecca joining us from UK. Rebecca, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. So in case today is your first time, this event is actually the Women's Sports Wednesday, and we usually organize this event 2 times in a month, right? Twice every month. We usually have Women's Sports Wednesday. And what is the objective of this event? So, the objective of Women's Sports Wednesday is for us to educate women about how to run their business. This event is actually powered by the Untamed, right? So you can invite your friends, whether you are part of the Untamed community or not. Feel free to invite your friends to join this session because they will learn a lot. Remember that we've discussed about different topics. We've had different people come and speak to us about leadership. We've had people speak to us about finance. We've actually discussed several topics, even about your personality and your skin. We've had different amazing speakers on this platform. But today, we're excited to have, you know, I'm not going to talk about her now until when it's time for me to bring her on board, but you don't need to learn this alone. I want you to go invite your friends, do a quick reminder in all your WhatsApp group, let them know we're live, and don't forget what we usually do. Tag them because they will always make out time to watch the replay, especially because of the time zone. So now let me see all those that have joined us. So we have the first person, Diana Rose from Tanzania. We have a Ifoma from Asaba. She's joining us from our Facebook page. We have Rebecca joining from UK. We have Charity joining from Ghana. We have Lillian joining us from Uganda. We have Judith joining us from Edo State. And we have Eniola. Eniola, thank you for representing Nigeria. You and Mrs. Ifoma. I was already screaming like, oh my God, does it mean we don't have anybody joining us from Nigeria? So we have Eniola, Judith, Ifoma. Thank you for breaking the record. But looks like Lagos people are watching the Morocco match. Maybe that's why they're not live, right? Yes. So please, it's already 5 minutes in. We need to start this section immediately. Please tag all your community members. Let them join. Remember that it's also good you tag them because they will still watch the live section. They can watch the replay later on because of the time zone. We have Midred. Thank you, Midred, for joining the section. Good to have you here. So, Midred, how many of your friends are watching with us live? And Yola, how many of your friends are watching with us live? Can you tag your friends? Can you tell them to join us? Let them know we're live. They need to join us now because we're going to start this section in the next few minutes. Okay, so I want to see you tag your friends. I want to see you tag your friends. Yet, I want to see you tag your friends. We have Rafi from Ghana. Thank you for joining us. Looks like maybe something is happening in Nigeria today. Looks like most of our people are still sleeping. Or should I say that we're watching the Morocco match? Let me not say what I'm not sure of that, right? So thank you all. So please start tagging all your friends. I want to see you tag your friends. Tag them, share the link, let them know we're live and they need to join the section. So while we wait for them to join, I want to ask you a question, right? Yes. Do you know what I want to ask? While we wait for your guests to join, I want to ask you one question, and that question is, what are you grateful for today? Can you tell me in the comment section? While we wait for our friends to join the section, I want to know what you are grateful for today. Tell me in the comment section. Tell me one thing you are grateful for today. Tell me. I want to see that in the comment section. We have Amomi. Amomi is here, joining us from Florida, US. Thank you, Amomi, for joining the section. And thank you for tagging your friends already. Okay? Thank you. So, Eunice, you're welcome. Eunice, don't forget to tag all your friends. Ask your community members to join. We need to start this section immediately. Irene, Dr. Irene, you're welcome. Thank you for joining this section. Don't forget to tag all your friends. Oh my God, this is interesting. So Eunice said, I'm grateful for life. Thank you very much, Eunice, for sharing this with us. This is interesting. Eunice is saying that she is grateful for life. Yes, I am also grateful for life, honestly. Thank you for sharing this with us, Eunice. Okay. Yes. So I want to hear from another person. Oh wow. She said, Mommy is saying, grateful for friends and family. Wow. Thank you very much, Omowomi. She says she's grateful for friends and family. Who else? Who else want to share with us? We have Susan. Susan is here. Our mompreneur is here. Thank you, Susan, for joining us from Abuja. Yes, Susan, I think you're the first person to join from. Okay, no, Eunice is the first to join from Abuja. Yes. So, yeah, good morning. Yeah, Oluwashayo is saying good morning to us. Yeah, good morning to, although it's evening here. Okay, so please make sure you tag your friends. We need to start. We're already 18. You know what? Once I have 30 people live, I'll start the section. So can we tag more people so that we can start immediately? So please let me know what you are grateful for. I want to see that in the comment section. Tell me what you are grateful for today. For me, I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for opportunity to meet our amazing community members. I'm grateful for this opportunity for us to have this section because I know our women are going to learn a lot of things. Not only our women, we also have men in our community. So I know our men and women in our community are going to learn a lot of things. Rosemary said, I'm grateful for life. It gives me another opportunity. Oh my God, this is interesting. Wow. Judith says, I'm grateful for life. It gives me another. Okay, Rosemary says, I'm grateful for life. It gives me another opportunity. Susan said, I want to join on my laptop so I can type with this phone. I may not be responding like when I'm using my phone and Maca. No problem, Susan. No problem, Susan. I'll wait for you to join with your laptop. Judith is saying, grateful for God's grace. Amazing. You're right. Grateful for God's grace. Luasha is so, I'm so sorry. It's evening. Yes, it's actually evening here. Luasha, thank you. So Rise Again is saying, thank you for today's section. I can't wait to add more knowledge. Exactly. Thank you so much also for joining. I really appreciate you all. Um, Onyangusi Oge is saying, I'm grateful to be here. Oh, that's good. Yes, we need to be grateful. We need to celebrate every moment because it's very, very important. Thank you, Eunice. I see you are tagging all your friends. Yeah, Oluwashayo is saying she's joining from Lagos. Oh, welcome, Oluwashayo. So we have a Wumi says, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Wumi Cares for joining us. Okay, so now we're going to, please don't forget to share with us. I want to know what you're grateful for. So we're grateful for a lot of things, but this week we actually, had another, news. We celebrated our, IMAX, right? IMAX winning the Influencers Top Award 2022. So, if not for anything, we are grateful for this success. Why? Because we're just 1 year old globally and we're already making this success, right? So, you see, Agnesika was the one that represented us to do what, to collect this award. So, we say congratulations to all the Untamed community for this special award for our eye cream, IMAX, right? Yes, making it to the Top Influencers Award 2022. I wanted to play the video of this, our IMAX. I don't know why it was slow. For those that don't know about IMAX, I'm going to show it for the end of this section so you can see it and you can also try it out because if you start using an IMAX, trust me, you're going to come back with a whole lot of review. So this is also what I'm grateful for, and also on behalf of our community, I know we're also grateful for winning this award. So the question now is, are we ready for today's section? We are ready 20 watching live. Yes, we are ready. Please keep tagging your friends, let them watch the replay later and let them join us later. So now we said you need to tell me you are ready. Please tell me in the comment section, are you ready? right? If you say you are not ready, you know how I do it, right? I'll wait for my amazing queens. I'll wait for you all to tell me when you are ready. So tell me, are you ready? Unit is saying congratulations to us. Yes, I want to really appreciate you all, amazing community members. You all did this, right? Yes, we're able to achieve this award because you did this. You showed the world how amazing our product are. So congratulations to us all. This is just the beginning of our awards and history together. Oh my goodness, I have my mom here saying she's ready. Mom, thank you for joining the section. I'm so happy to have you here. Fantastic. Can I get more ready, more ready, more ready? Okay, looks like we're all ready for today's section. So since we're ready, we're going to start right away. I know more people will still join us. So now the question is, what is your expectation for today's section? What are you expecting? When you heard about fragrance of wealth, what comes to your mind? Can you tell me what your expectation is for today's section? I want to know. Just drop it for me in the comment section. When you heard about the fragrance of wealth, what actually came to your mind? Were you thinking about an occultic violin? Were you thinking about a gothic rose and all that? So for those joining us for the first time, the Untamed is actually a Nordic beauty company, and we are building a community of social selling experts. We are just a 1 year old company, and we are currently present in 26 countries. So what we do is, when people partner with us, they have opportunity to build a sustainable business on our platform, because we have our Nordic beauty product, which ranges from skincare, fragrance, and makeup, which you can be a distributor with us. And being a distributor, you earn as high as 25% to 43% profit selling our product in all the 26 countries we're in. So you can be in Nigeria, sell our product to your friends who are in France. All they need to do is to buy it from your website. Our office in France will supply them. If they're in Germany, if they're in Netherlands, if they're in Poland, if they're in Italy, they just need to buy from your website, and our office in those locations will supply them. If they're in Nigeria, you just need to buy from your website, and for our office here in Lagos, we will supply directly to your customers. So you don't even need to move products from one location to the other. So this is what we do here in the Untamed. In case you keep hearing the Untamed, the Untamed, but today we're talking about the fragrance of wealth. And now, since everybody is saying they're super ready, I would like to invite the special guest for today. And I really want you all to listen. And before I invite her, you're going to give her your best emoji, right? Yes, because why I want you to listen is because I want to introduce her. And I want you to listen why I read out her bio. Let me see if you can see this from the screen. For those joining us here for the first time, my name is Wamaku Deniwe. I'm your host for today, and I'm the Untamed Sales Director. In case you don't remember my name, remember to call me Queen of Sales. Okay, so let's go. So I'm going to read out the bio of the speaker for today. Yes, fragrance of wealth. Please keep that coming. Fragrance of wealth. Yes, that's what we're going to discuss today. So I'm going to read out her bio. I'm not sure if you can see this clearly from the screen, but wait for me as I read out her bio. It's very important you listen, because I want you to know the person that is going to speak to you this evening, right? Yes. So her name is Solape Akinpelu. She's the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Harvests. It's a fintech pioneering inclusive finance for African women through goal-oriented savings, impacting investing and credit for smallholder, women farmers and women-owned and led SMEs in Nigeria. She has a thriving community of over 25,000 members. Harvest is on a mission to improve women's life through, greater access to and use of financial services. Yet, so this is who she is, and this is what you need to know about her community. She also doubles as the chairman Technology Group. Is actually a Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce and the chapter director for Women in Tech Nigeria, an international organization with a double mission to close the gender gap to help women embrace technology. She's also going to tell us briefly about her book here, which is Stripped, an African Woman's Guide to Building Generational Wealth. I've actually I started reading this book, a few days ago. I'm actually on page, I think, 50 something. It's actually an interesting book because it talks about, you building a generational wealth, which is in line with what we do here in the Untamed, right? And she mentioned different opportunities, different business you can also decide to build. I was actually happy to see affiliate marketing as one of the business she recommended. And today I told her, this is actually one of our business model. She's a certified financial education instructor and a member of the Personal Finance Speakers Association, USA. She's also a member of the Chartered Institute of Marketing and has demonstrated excellence in financial marketing in her former role as marketing head, Mainstream, a top investment and wealth management company in Nigeria. So she's also a global and sought after speaker. She continues to lead gender finance conversation online, offline, in print, and across leading media publications. Okay, the screen is blurred, right? Thank you very much, Susan, for giving me that feedback. Okay, I'm going to share her profile for the of her to bring her in to come and take us on today's topic. I had a visit a community please from her so that she will, yes, amazing profile. Dr. Naomi said amazing profile. Yes, thank you very much to Naomi. She said it's okay right since I know what I would do. Okay. So now let's welcome the platform. Yeah, so are we ready for this? Nobody's giving us. Give us some love, give us fire, give us some ginger. We will need energy. Please give us something, right? Yes. So please, fire emoji. You want to give us champagne? Anything you want, please. We need your. I'm so sorry, people. I don't know what happened. Sorry. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Network is not friendly. I noticed that from my end because the network actually took me out from the section. Thank you very much. So now let me bring her back before the network starts misbehaving again. Thank you. So now I have a life. Thank you very much, Sholakwe, for joining our section. Please help me pronounce your surname again, please. I'm sorry in case I murdered your name, please.
Thank
Help
you
me
so much,
see all the
Wamaka.
love. See all the love from our community. Do you see this in the comment section?
It's amazing. Thank you so much,
Yes, see all
everyone.
the love from our community.
My name is Solape Akinpelu.
Akinpelu.
Right. I hope my audio is clear. I can.
Very clear, very clear,
Oh, lovely.
very clear. And I think I can
Beautiful.
leave now since your audio is clear.
Okay, don't leave me by myself. All right, it's fine. I'm in
No
good hands,
problem.
I
I'll always
suppose.
come back. Don't worry.
Hello,
I'll
hello,
just be
everyone.
there. I'll always come back. No
Hello,
problem.
it's fine. Hello, everyone. Hi, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, amazing women and men. It's a pleasure to be here. So fun fact, this is my first Facebook Live. I am not a great talker, right? It actually takes a lot to bring me out to talk. However, I'm a great writer, so I'd rather write. I'd rather build businesses as I've done in the past and as I'm still doing. Good evening, everyone. But when I, dug into the Untamed community and see what you amazing ladies are up to, I said, no way. I've got even much more to learn from this community. And that's what we're going to do this evening with each other. That is, we'll be gleaning from each other's experiences. So it's a pleasure being here. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Eunice, Omoumi, Yetunde Odunlami Olawuyi. Ifoma, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I really appreciate. And so we'll just get things started. But before then, some introduction. My name is Solape Akinpelu. Yes, I'm the CEO and co-founder of an inclusive fintech for women called Harvest. Harvest, Hervest. Our website is harvest.ng, hervest.ng. And what we're by ensuring that women get greater access to and use of financial services as savings, loans, impact investment, and a whole lot more. For instance, by next year, by next year, January precisely, we'll be launching our version 4 of our product, and trust me, it's got a whole lot more because we're constantly building and iterating around your needs. Aside that, I'm also the country director for Women in Tech. Women in Tech is a global not-for-profit with a double mission to close the gender gap in technology and help more women accelerate, their pathway in technology. Women in Tech has over 100,000 community globally with about 36 financial formal chapters. I said financial, so you see everything here. It's got to do with finance. Formal chapters. We launched November 2021. This year alone, we trained over 1,000 women for free. Over 1,000 women and girls were skilled into 5 different tracks: programming, UI, UX, digital economy, and the likes. And yes, because we believe that technology can really accelerate and close the gap, we're really heavy on technology. I also sit on the Council of Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce, where I chair technology initiatives there. This year alone, alongside corporates, we've trained over 100, people, men and women, and they are accelerating their career in technology. So yes, this evening it's going to be a conversation. And yes, when we spoke with Mama, I said, you guys you're doing amazing things in this community already. So let's talk about fragrance of wealth, right? Around the beauty that you're already coupling together here. But before I dive in, I would really like to know what you're looking forward to learning this evening. So that would, guide the conversation. Finance as it is quite robust, right? When you talk about financial services, in the lingo we use is financial service providers. And what that means is that it cuts across banking, wealth and asset management, pension, insurance. Now that you have a lot of fintech, so you're talking about payments, you're talking about banking as a service. There are just so many things across the financial line. But I'm saying that you, Ifoma, Diana Rose, Naomi, Yetunde, what do you really want to take out, of this? The challenges. Okay, so let me give you some context. I just recently published this Stripped, an African woman's guide to building generational wealth. It took me 14 months to write this book. And then before we started, we surveyed close to 200 women and we asked what their challenges were. There were diverse of them, but the top 3 were, financing, that I don't even have the money. I want to grow, I want to be wealthy, but I don't even have the, means. Some said the second one was education, like financial education. I don't know where to start. Even if I have some money, I don't know where to start. And then, of course, risk was a thing. So you tell me, what are you looking forward to learning this evening? What is the challenge? I've got to say a big shout out to Untamed already. I mean, when I heard that it's just about a year in Nigeria with this amazing community, I got your products. I used them during the week. Was it this week? Okay, no, last week I was in Kigali, Rwanda, and I had your lovely matte lipstick, blinging me out, right? It was quite beautiful. So I have to say a big shout out to the Untamed community. And when we talk about the community, we're talking about the brand, we're talking about the amazing people. That is you that make up this community. Thank you for the amazing work you do. Thank you for this, invitation as well. I'm glad you actually dragged me out to do this, right? So yeah, here's the thing. So again, I said, what exactly are you looking towards to gain? What is the challenge? The reason why I asked is that, again, we are on different paths on a journey. And I've realized that, for a community or for people who had committed, to buy into affiliate marketing and actually, profit off that in a beautiful way, you are at an advanced stage of money making. I make bold to say that, because trust me, a lot of people just tell you that, what, I don't even know where to start from. I don't know what opportunities are out there for me. And that's one of the reasons why, we wrote this book, and we have the platform Harvest for You, where we are, putting up tools and insights that can help you accelerate your financial journey. Okay, so I'm seeing some comments here. Naomi says, I hope to learn more about how to be financially savvy, plus how to invest and multiply money. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I assumed this would be the case for a lot of people, because, when we talk about personal finance, we talk about make, grow, and then manage, or make, multiply and manage. So how do you want to make money? How do you multiply the money? And then how do you manage what you've multiplied, right? In my book, it is wealth creation, wealth preservation, and then wealth transfer. But that is sort of technical, because that is what you use when you're talking about wealth management terms. But make, multiply, and manage, the three M's, they're essential. So I'm not surprised that Naomi is saying, I want to learn more about how to be financially savvy, plus how to invest and multiply money. I'll just add something to that, Naomi, and I hope that I'm speaking your mind. That is, aside from investing and multiplying that money, we should be keen on how to transfer that money, how to preserve that money. Money multiplied and plans without how to preserve the money, or how to transfer the money to the next generation, it can end, with us. And that's not what we want, right? Don't we want to give our next generation, a buffer and an easier, way to set off? Thank you, Susan. You're following me on IG. Amazing. I hope that you get some inspiration from on there. So Odolami Yetunde says, how do I tackle my expense over income? Isn't this a global challenge? Right, ability to still save in spite of the numerous responsibilities. So I'll take note of that, modular meeting, and I'll talk about black tax. So thank you. So you're seeing that we are framing a conversation for the evening already. I'll be talking more about the make, multiply, and manage. I added to that preservation and transfer. I hope time, and then we'll be talking about black tax is a thing. You can look it up. So we'll talk about black tax, and then I'll just add to that. You're seeing I'm training bonuses already, because we are largely females here. I also talk about Ada tax. It's something that I discussed in my book. I think if Untamed charged for this session, from you ladies, you'll be justified, because you are, in for a beautiful and rewarding evening. If you haven't invited your friends, I advise that you do now. Invite your girlfriends, invite your enemies if you have one. Your nieces, your daughters, your sisters, even the male folk, right? Yes, I'm always looking at investment, money management, personal finance, from a genderless perspective. But hey, I just got a review this morning from a friend who said, oh, I picked it from my wife, I read it, and then a colleague of mine saw it, a guy, and he picked it, right? It was intended for a female, and then two guys, read it already. So please, bring on more people. Yes, so I think I'll just start from what I usually call no limits, and it is a mindset thing, right? And I'm confident. This is me, very confident that a lot of us have already, overcome that mindset. What I'm saying in essence is that we knew that this conversation is about money, and then we put it on a calendar and we locked in unashamedly, right? I think we should drop emojis for ourselves. Like, just drop kisses for yourselves. Just drop love struck for yourself. Because guess what? A lot of women find money conversations uncomfortable to have. They will talk about everything They'll talk about everything. They'll band, do all of that on social media. But it's just not natural for a woman, an African woman who has been raised to, find a rich husband to marry you, so this in quotes. And then you have, like we say, womb watchers. When are you going to start popping those babies? And how clean is your house? Things that we call unpaid care. Unpaid care is actually really, really huge, so huge that it's what is about 3 times the size of the tech economy globally. Right? It's okay to look after yourself and all of that. What we're saying is that there's balance. Look after the home, but then create balance. When it comes to making money, it is not a gender function. It's not written, it's not documented anywhere that, making money is a function of, no, who made all of these rules? That's why you need to get my book, for instance. And you realize that the African community, the pre-colonial, African community was even matriarchal, before now. And women wielded power and influence. It was a society that we understood each other, but then we have certain structures unwittingly making women more docile and waiting on handouts. So what I'm saying is that congratulations, you are untamed. You are in the untamed community. You are earning. You most likely have maybe another 9 to 5 somewhere. I mean, you are acing your goals. So talking about mindset, I congratulate you, and I say to that again that no limits. Whatever limit you encounter is the one that you put on yourself, not what the society. I put this out there. I think it was just recently I tweeted about it, and I said that living for the mob is like living in a prison cell. So, oh my God, what would they say what would they, do you understand? It's like living in a cell. And guess what? What would they? Most of the time, they are not necessarily, if they pick up your conversations, it is just like a way to douse whatever they are dealing with. It doesn't last. So why not, be financially independent and live fully as God has created you? So I'll say something. I don't know if you can relate, if any of you can relate, that there are sometimes your mood is just, is when they say, as in, permit me, our international, there's this, we speak pidgin, is like the lingua that cuts across. People will say, what did they do you? Like, what's wrong with you? You can't place your hands on it. And then maybe you just make some sales and then you get some alerts and then there's money in the bank and you realize that your mood just peaked. Has it happened to you before? Have you encountered it? Money is an emotion. Money is an emotion. It is a strong tool. It is power itself. It's not, that's why I said, I did not say it's a powerful tool. It is a strong tool and it is power itself. And guess what? For people who would rather not talk about money, or people who would, rather say, you know what, I don't want to have money conversations. It isn't ladylike, right? Why should a lady want to make money? It's not what a lady just naturally does, right? What you're doing is that you're gradually submitting and rendering, power away. And that's why you see women in, very compromising situations, abusive situations, gender-based violence, and all of that. And you see them say, you know what, I want to leave this situation, but I can't because, hey, where do I start from? So again, I say congratulations, no limits. I often think that there's a reason why, they call bills, they call it currency as well, right? I think it's because there's some power that goes through it, right? And then we go into all that you can do positively with your money. So I will also say something, actually talking about, making money, as I've said. Affiliate marketing is beautiful. It's great. But hey, what are you doing with that money? The money you make off it, right? So you don't want to just make money to spend it. Like, oh, you make, you spend, you make, you spend. What happens with a situation like that is just, that's why you see some people, no matter how much they earn, they are just broke. almost all the time, because all you're doing is just that you are conduiting cash, money. So the money comes in, it goes out that way. And trust me, money has its own mind, it's a spirit. If you don't make plans for it, it will make plans for itself. And that's why I go to, I think it was, Yetunde Olawi that asked that, okay, how do I expenses is, do you understand? Because trust me, they would call you from the village and said, you know what, grandma just swallowed razor. And this is very prevalent with, African females. I call it Ada tax. I think I started, going into things already. I call it Ada tax. I made that up. And it is the fact that the pressure, the financial and emotional pressure of families mostly relies on African females. It's a beautiful thing. So it's a beautiful thing to care for, family, older folks, younger ones, and all of that, right? But you've got to do it with a plan. Otherwise, guess what? You think that I don't want to be selfish. But guess what? You don't want to have a line of, generational dependence. Because if you do not take care of you, what will happen is that you are having younger ones that you two will now have to rely on, and then they keep relying heavily, unrealistically on each other. And that's why I recommend that you get a copy of my book where we actively discuss how you can tackle this, in an effective way for both yourself and the people that you help. Yeah, Naomi, yes, the money hasn't it happened? Haven't you realized some people that their calls are usually targeted towards the end of the month? And you just know that, you know what, you're not working for yourself alone. It's a beautiful thing, right? Yeah, especially if you are the first, you're very right. Don't let me today. It's a beautiful thing, but again, it's got to be with a plan. So don't make money to spend alone. You've got to save, and I'm sure we know that, but most of the time it's really hard to save, isn't it? In your heart of hearts that you've got to save, but it's really, really hard. So you need a savings plan. And so there's this method that it's quite universal, but I've always said it that yes, there's rooms for flexibility around it. And the budgeting method is called the 50-30-20 budgeting method. And what that simply means is that from your income, either as a businesswoman, and I don't know if for businesses, I think I'll come to that. If you are a full-time entrepreneur, just say FT entrepreneur or something, or FT businesswoman, I'd like to see how many we have, because I'd like to touch on how we calculate, our income, how we calculate our profits, for instance, because you have some people that they are running businesses and you hear things like, oh my God, I do a huge turnover. Do you know that last month I did a turnover of 500,000? I am wondering, yes, you did a turnover of 500,000, but what are your margins? What are your costs? What are the embedded costs in that turnover? From that, what percentage do you actually make? Do you even track the costs, that brought in that turnover, right? Yes, thank you so much. I see you, Amaka. I see you, and then we'll briefly, talk about that. But like I said, I think I've seen that, for salaried earners, it's mostly easier to, because you know that at the end of the month, what I get is 80,000, what I get is 50,000, what I get is 5 million. So you can plan around that. But for business owners, you need cash flow, you need to restock, so it's really, really hard calculating your margins. And I see that is a challenge. And so basically, don't make money to spend, save. And I was talking about budgeting plan. That is the 50-30-20. 50 saying that, so let's say that as a business person, or as a salaried earner, or as both, as you mostly often see, right? You see someone who is a full-time, who is a salaried earner, and who's still running business. It's always a fuse. Nigerian women, African women, forgetting we're so hardworking, right? A lot of my non-African friends are always full of commendations and say African women, strong, hardworking. Someone says, why does everyone look like a queen in Africa? And I said, yes, because we are queens, right? So that budgeting plan, what it essentially means is that your take home, either from your business, or for from your salary is 100,000, 50% of that, which is for hypothetically, if you're working with um um 100,000 would be 50,000, right? Hope you are with me. So that means that the 50,000, which is 50% of it, goes into your expense. That is your rent, your feeding, your living expenses, the ones that you've just got to, sort them. Otherwise, no one wants to sleep on the street or go hungry. And that 30% of that goes into your wants. And here is where the challenges are to say what are needs and what are wants. So wants are things like that, say, that vacation, that fine dining, that really, really nice designer shoe that that you could actually get a cheaper one and a nicer one, but I really want it. I can't come and die. You know how we say it. And then it goes on all of that. And here is where it gets funny. It says that at the minimum, save or invest away 20%. So in this case, if you're working with, let's say, Nigerian Naira of 100,000 at the end of the month, you must save a minimum of 20,000. In some cases, it might be a struggle to save that. In some cases, you look at your expenses and you realize that you can actually save away more than 20%. And that's where the flexibility, comes in. That might seem like some high level. How do I really calculate? And then one thing I just recommend is just like an outright no budgeting. Do you understand? If it's out of food, clothes, shelter, which are like the three essential needs that anybody need, you're just saying an outright no to it. And then when you remove the funds for that, every other thing goes into savings. And so when you save, I'll say that don't save to spend, because you have people, for instance, people save and they maybe they save for 3 months, you save for 6 months, and it comes with some interest. Savings interest are usually not really high, and then I will try to differentiate between savings and investing. And then when you bring out the money, excuse me, because you've been able to save with some discipline, the next thing you want to do is to splurge. Is self-destructive. So when you save to actually invest. And investing usually more long-term than saving. So you can invest in things like bonds. Yeah, don't save to spend. You can invest in things like bonds, you can invest in things like treasury bills as it is here. You can invest in maybe another higher yield savings account. You can do some impact investments, and if you get a copy of it, for instance, you understand more about impact investment. And impact investment, investing in things that really have higher social and environmental impact, right? Yeah. So another thing is, for instance, let's imagine you want to do Dirty December. A Dirty December is not a need, it is a want. So imagine that by January, the 30% that goes into one, some part of that has been going into your Dirty December plan. And that's why we encourage on Harvest. If you download Harvest on iOS and Android, for instance, we really encourage goal-based savings. So that way, if you have like 10 goals, you can create. If you have 5 goals, so you had automated everything. You put your bank card and you say, for my Dirty December, debit me this amount every month, and then automatically. So automation is another thing that I would greatly recommend, because like I said, if you don't direct the path of your money, it would find a path for itself, right? And it mostly comes from the village people. I'm sorry, but so at the end of the day, so what I meant by that is just someone somewhere calling, and all of that, and then all those sales that keeps coming. E-commerce is a big sector in itself, and you'll be surprised about how they target our psyche. Do you know that e-commerce sales shot up like it had never done in 2020 during COVID? It's a wonder, because we were not really earning. Do you understand? And then they were buying because people were stressed. So some purchases that you even do, you are purchasing from a stressed perspective, and you do not just realize it. And at that point, you just want to save and get that, thing, and then God help you, you see 60% off. And you be like, whoa, I'm hoping 60% off, and then you make that purchase, and you realize that you end up buying 40% of what you do not need, right? So you've got to have a plan. You've got to be in the driver's seat, for your funds. Again, I think I've mentioned, goal-based savings. That is, you should always, you know, tie whatever you are saving for towards the goal. It's easier for you to track that way. It's, if, for instance, if you want to save towards a trip, for you said, you know what, I want to see Africa, and the first place I want to see, I think we have sisters from Cameroon, Kenya here, and say, you know what, I want to go to Nairobi. So you start saving, okay, so how much do I need to go to Nairobi? This is the amount. You factor in some inflation. It is very key, because if you look at the ticket and you say, oh, it will cost me, hypothetically, let's say $250 to fly to Nairobi, for instance, in December, and you're planning this in January, you don't factor in inflation. Trust me, it would most likely be more than that by the time you're done, right? Yeah, so you want to also factor all of that. So imagine if you're saving on, for instance, and a harvest that allows you do goal-based savings, and it's automatic, and you're seeing that, okay, it's 150 or it's $250, for instance, and then you are seeing that you are 50% there. There's an excitement that comes for that, and you want to save towards that goal, or you're saving towards maybe another degree, maybe at Harvard, and all of that. So you can just go ahead and spread all those goals. But again, you've just got to make that money, and that's where we started from. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the make, multiply, and manage. So I said that for a lot of us, we're already making that funds. And just to quickly go back there, it's as if one can never make enough money, right? And that's why, they'll say, whatever you do, live within your means. It is a good one, right? And contentment is a how do I put that? Contentment is key, but what happened to expanding your means? Live within the means, but can it be expanded? Yes. Can it be expanded? Yes. So I ask you, even on Untamed, it's affiliate marketing, do you set targets for yourself, or you're just winging it? If the sales come, if it doesn't, right? So that's why you've got to put in the work in the making part, right? You've just got to put in the work. And then when you start making it, you have to, again, like we said, and we've reiterated several times, you've got to set the direction for that money. And then just a quick show of hands. If there's anything that I've skipped, or maybe you'd want me to talk much more about, kindly drop in the comments. Thank you for your energy. Yeah. Just a quick show of hands. Who amongst us, okay, let me just say this. Do you have a pension plan? So if you have a pension plan, type yes. If you don't, type N. If you have, just Y will work. If you don't, put an N. Yeah, live within your means, but expand that means. Do you understand? Because if you don't live within your means, of course, you become a chronic debtor, and that gives you a reputational damage. But again, you do not want to be doing nickel and dime, and that's why you find a lot of people are doing, oh, I don't go beyond my boundary and all of that. But the truth is, don't you want to live a better lifestyle than you currently do? So put in the work. As long as you have a value, that is legitimate, right? Trust me, there's always someone out there ready to pay for it. Okay, so I see that a few of us have pension. If you are a full-time, we said an FT entrepreneur, and you have a pension, please, a pension plan, let's see. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is that wealth management preservation is really key. Preservation is really key. There's this thing that they say that for one to have and not to have again is worse than never to have had. I don't know if you've heard that. That someone that's never experienced affluence and all of that is almost better than for one to have experienced it and then go back to ground zero or close to. pension and insurance is key. Sisters, I know that the insurance culture, especially on the continent, is still very poor. Where all of us, we are still doing it is not my portion. Insure that phone, insure that car. Do you understand? Health insurance is critical. You don't need an employer before you do health insurance. You can do an average health insurance for around 80,000. The one of about 120,000, if you want to have a cesarean birth, for instance, it covers it. And the amount of, you'd have coughed out if, you didn't have all of this. So please, I also want us to prioritize insurance, and that is going to the education side where you don't even know, just know, where to start. So let's always prioritize, insurance, and also prioritize pension. I don't know if there are any other things that you'd love for me to, touch on. I'm really happy to share further. But again, remember, they make, multiply, and manage. Okay, so Bridget says, please, can you explain the pension plan? It's a personal saving for pension or from companies you pay to. Okay, so really, for organizations, it is a regulatory thing. Organizations, that is, I'm talking about employers now, have to, contribute and ensure that their employees are, they have an active pension plan. The recommendation is 18% of their, gross, I think, and then that is usually split between the employee and the employer in a 10 and 8, proportions. But you realize that happens. That safety net is usually happens for, well, these are Nigerian laws. Forgive me, I don't know what. I'm sure that will be similar in other countries. So for people who are, full-time entrepreneurs who run their businesses, it is like an alien thing to them. You're wondering, why do I need to start? Why should I have a pension plan, right? Another sweet thing about pension is that for all other types of investments, that savings that you do, they are taxable, right? But for pension, it is not taxable, right? So apportion a particular one, for your pension. There are very many reputable ones. It is Pencom that regulates pension in Nigeria. You can read up on their website. There are many reputable pension companies out there, that will be happy to sign you up. If you need more, you can talk to me for that. Come into the DM. They are all of them licensed, and then, happy to. I hope I answered your question, Bridget. So you can actually, set up, pension for yourself as an entrepreneur or business owner. And insurance is really key. Even that store that you sell from, is it insured, right? So we really need to critically. Okay, yes, thank you so much. That I should shed more light on, types of wealth. So because whenever we talk about wealth, or fragrances of wealth as it is, we usually look from the lenses of financial wealth. And it's really, I do not blame us, because that is about the one that, is most evident. But I'd like to talk about other types of wealth, or maybe capital in this case, and it is what I call social capital. It is really key. And trust me, if you ask me which I would take between social capital and financial capital, Solape Akinpelu, I'll take social capital, because most of the time, what you are looking for, that target, that wealth target, that financial target that you are aiming for, you are just one person, not even two persons, one person away from it. And so the question I want to pose to you is that, how solid is your social capital? Like, are you that person that, when someone says, hey, I'm planning on doing this with this, everybody says, no, don't even go there. She'll cook up hell for you. She'll give you a lot of trouble. She's not straightforward. Do you understand? Is that something that, how on a scale of 10, and you don't need to put this in the box, but again, you can look around yourself and tell your friends to set up an anonymous quiz. Take this away from here. Set up an anonymous quiz and say that, they should use some adjectives to qualify you. Make sure that you can't be tracked to them. It's a good check to have on yourself, right? I don't know how you got into Untamed. It's likely that another woman told you about it because she saw an opportunity. And so it's likely that your social capital is already good, right? But you still want to take a ball and look at yourself to say how connected or how credible is my social capital. Another thing I would say is that um um you can't do it all by yourself. Let's be honest. As Africans, one of the beautiful, I call Africa my village. I've been so opportunity to, I feel so blessed to be an African. And going across the continent, you realize that our ways are typically not, we are very communal and one people, right? So, how are you networking? We are mostly ready to help each other. Forget whatever social media or some few people's bad behaviors have been like. We are mostly ready to. So how much are you willing to help the other person? And then how again are you connecting to areas that can help you? For instance, I will tell you for free, LinkedIn has been super powerful for me, right? A lot of opportunities have been thrown at me in building our startup at Harvest. Harvest, for instance, is a Google-backed organization. Google has invested in us. We've been invested in by commendable organizations. The USA has invested in us, right? And these are, we're talking about huge projects, right, to ensure that we get more women financially included, more women like you financially included. I encourage you again to sign up on Harvest, because we have a lot coming up, for you. And all of this financial literacy are things that we speak and discuss further, on Harvest. And of course, please, by all means, do yourself a favor. This is 7,500. It is available in Nigeria. It's available on Amazon. You can read on Kindle. You can, do the paperback on Amazon as well. So wherever you are on the globe, you can get a copy of this. It is stripped an African woman's guide to building generational wealth. And then you realize that you are already onto a beautiful thing with Untamed. But again, I ask you, are you just winging it? You've just got to, it's got to be target oriented, right? It's got to be really, really target oriented, and no one can set that for you, except yourself. So again, expand your means. Yes, Harvest is an app, is on iOS, is on Android. We have close to 30,000 women using that application right now. If you have any challenges, reach out to me. You can reach us on our website. We built it with you in mind, and that's why we have this gender lens focus, ongoing wealth for African women. Yes. So I think we've done 1 hour of conversation that I absolutely enjoyed, and I hope you did as well. So I think it's okay what investment minimum can a private person have before he or she approach a pensioner? No, you don't. I do not think there's a minimum. I stand to be corrected, right? But engage me. Let's talk for that. I'll introduce you to my colleagues who are, in the pension sector, right? Because pension is sits somewhere between an investment and an insurance, right? So pension is, to make sure that you have something to fall back, on. The one I know that is a wealth management tool is what they call retirement planning, which is mostly for people who are considered affluent. And I know that we have such people on this call, no disrespect. So yes, you can settle for that if you're earning a particular. So if you're asking about that, there are different terms. I know that in some organizations they look at, okay, maybe your total income, your annual income is about 100 million or so. Some organizations look at your income is about 50 million, then they start discussing, wealth planning for you. But for pension, there are so many micro pension firms out there right now. Our bar is one that's really looking at micro pension. So they even do pension for market women, right? For low income women. So that's why I know that it doesn't really have a particular minimum or cap. But please, let's engage further and speak further on that. Okay, so this is what Harvest looks like. HERVEST. HERVEST. There are times it comes with an NG. Thank you, Grace. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been a pleasure sharing. If you have questions now, please feel free. I'm happy to share. Um, okay, then Heaven's just dropped the download link that you can easily click on, and it takes you to the App Store. Either you're on iOS, or Android. Amaka is back.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that section. First, just for those that joined, during this section, I want to remind you that this is Women's Sports Wednesday powered by the Untamed, and the objective of this section is to educate our women, you know, any information you need that will help you to build your business, whether it's finance, leadership, different topics. So, and today we're happy to have Solape in our midst telling us about fragrance of wealth, how we can be able to save to invest, and how we can leverage on different platforms and also leverage on their app to be able to also save. Okay, so now it's time for us to ask questions, because I also have question for her. Laomi said, how solid is your social capital, scale of 1 to 10? Okay, that was a question that she asked before. Yes, personal answer. So Laomi, please, you can drop your personal answer. Okay, yes. So I have a question for you. First, you talked about social capital and all that, and in the term we have our community. I will actually say that women have very good social capital, because we have different communities in the term. Yes, we have different. We have like Triple Empire. We have their community. We have the New Rich community. We have like different community. We have the Unstoppable from East Africa. So we have like different community. We have the sub communities who are in the term, and they actually have a very strong network. But the question I want to ask is, how can these different communities we have in the team, how can they partner, with harvests? Because I know you mentioned you have like about 25,000 people in your community, and I feel whatever we're discussing here is women. We're talking about building wealth. We're also talking about how we can leverage it. So how can this the untamed community and harvest enjoy like a very mutual, you know, because we're talking about building social capital. We
Sure.
also want to
Yes.
expand our
Together.
social capital. Yes. What do you
Yes.
think? How do you think? Because they are live and they're also joining us from different places. We have people here in
Yeah.
UK, Florida, Canada, then East Africa, and we have Nigeria listening to
Lovely.
us here. So I really also want them to hear from their own end.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. First, and again, I can't, thank you enough for bringing me on this evening. Again, I said this is my first Facebook Live. I find all excuses in the book when people say come talk. I said no. And I think that was why I, went into writing this book. It took me 14 months, but I said a lot of the questions that people ask me, I'll just pour everything into a book, make it personable so that
Yeah.
people can get this book. And then, but I'm glad that we did this evening. And speaking, yes, it's on iOS, Eunice. We have the link dropped as well. It's on iOS and Android. Yes, so and it's HERVEST, right? VEST. Yeah. So
Ready for you.
speaking. All right, thank you. So speaking on partnerships, there are a lot we can do together. You know, for instance, we have a product called Click, and what that on Harvest, if you download it, and what that does is that you can save alongside your community. So you have said, okay, there are buckets of communities even within Untamed community. So you can download, for instance, and then you say, okay, Nwama Kasholape, there are 50 ladies who want to save towards this particular thing, and maybe the proceeds of sales, a particular amount, you just set it up, goes into the savings. So what then happens is that we become accountable to each other. So you recall that we are co-saving together now. So it is an option. And if you decide, what, I just want to go this solo, you can go that way too. But we encourage that quick saving so that we can become accountable to each other. And I can tell you that, hey, Amaka, you go and I think your card is not funded because you've not been debited this month, right? And you realize that what that does is it makes it fun, it makes it journey enjoyable. And of course, there are many. So if you go on the website now, you see insights. And insights, we are always populating it. We are coming up with tons of conversations in the new year that I'll be having with women. The best way, right? The best way that you can, thank you so much, Shemilogi. So the best way that you can really participate and be on top of this is, downloading the app, having your details in a database so that you're getting the conversations real time. We really look forward to doing more with the Untamed community, especially in the new year and years to come. We love leveraging on technology. So for people who just, I want to learn a skill in tech, for instance, right? As a Harvest member, we can throw you those opportunities. They are usually free, so they are not exactly free. But what happens is that we go all the way to securing partnerships with corporates. For instance, the one we had this year was funded by a bank, V Bank. We are grateful to them, right? So you get it, I mean, you have nothing to lose. What you're bringing on is just your time, and it's mostly done virtually. And trust me, in this age, no tech skill is wasteful, right? I have a lady friend who participated last year, and then she did data analytics, and she works with a global NGO now. And she says that what she learned from data analytics is really helping her scale at what she does. I spoke about that in the book. You want a promotion, you want a career advancement. We're talking about types of wealth. There's intellectual wealth as well. What are you exposing yourself to? How much do you know? Right? And then again, they say this thing that you do not know what you do not know. I think that is the most profound thing I've ever heard. So if you don't know something, you don't even know that you don't know that thing, and then you're just in that. So you've got to expose yourself to a lot of knowledge, to a lot of transferable skills, and technology obviously is one of them. We have people who are earning, they are sitting where they are, and then they are earning in USD pounds as high as 6,000, 7,000 monthly because the length is a skill. You don't even need its university degree. So join the community, stay close to Untamed because we together will be rolling out and doing more, for our collective good.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing this with us. And okay, sorry, Dr. Nami said, I don't want to call names. Sorry. I don't want to call names, but I recently lost some good investments while investing in a legit agro investment company. What are the risk factors with Harvest?
Yes, thank you, Naomi. And that is not lost on us. Harvest has been around since 2020. Um, so I'll tell you how we mitigate against these risks. First, statistically, women, and I think we should, put out emojis for women. Women pay back. Women are good with credit. Women's credit is backed by character. Secondly, because we know that not all women are the same, even though statistics say that, right? We take comprehensive insurance on all of these projects. We actually use royal exchange, for instance, right? And the insurance is it covers for climatic conditions, tonnage, and all of that. Aside from that, we are bringing on more sectors that you'll be able to fund, in the coming year. So from January, you'll be seeing other women's sectors. So it's going to be pro-choice. You are not limited to only impact invest in smallholder female farmers alone. But even at now, you can either impact invest in a smallholder female farmer or set up a savings plan where you can earn up to 10% per annum. So if you're not comfortable, with investing with funding a smallholder female farmer, you can, save where you earn up to 10% per annum. That is on your savings, right? So yes, we can call us, reach us so that we, share more details. Go to our FAQ on the website, and then you see details that give you, more comfort. But note, like they say, with all types of investment, mutual funds, whatever it is, they all come with a level of risk. What you want to ask is how are the organizations mitigating against those risks? Hi, Amaka. Hello. Was I able
Sorry,
to
my
answer that
network
question?
actually took me out.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I think, sorry about that. My network actually took me
No
out.
problem.
Or just in and out. Okay, so thank you very much, Sholakwe. So one last question. in your community, do you have scenarios where people share different business opportunities they do so that people in the community can maybe in case maybe they want to try, like what I'm asking this just a scenario in case like some of our community want to come and talk about, have opportunity to speak to maybe people in your community about the Untamed.
Okay, yes. So it would most likely be, how do I put this? We are looking at extending the community and making it richer. And that would include having, offline events, because you realize that
Okay,
you're not able to do as much. So there will be a combination of
much.
online and offline events, especially in 2023. And of course, we'll be happy to
Okay,
have conversations with Untamed where, Untamed ladies can,
okay,
come share with our community.
okay. Okay, so that's
Yes,
great.
so
Thank you
I
very
think
much,
there's one
Sholakwe.
question
I
from Naomi. Amaka, sorry. Are there classes on different
okay, okay,
investment
that's it. She
strategies?
said
Yes, that is in the book. Yes,
wait,
absolutely. Yes, there are classes, well, there are, chapters that speak about different investment strategy, and it's very personalized. So the book starts with, African history. It starts with personalized, because we all have money personality, right? So it speaks to all of that. So it's value based, personal based. I mean, everyone will read this book and you wouldn't feel as if you've read something generic. Do you understand? And then it goes on to talk about different classes, of investments and how you can hack them, for your own personality. So I encourage you, take it, get it here.
I don't know if you mentioned all the places they can get this book aside your online. Did you talk about
Yes, so you can get it at bookstores
aside your
around
online?
you, but it's actually Roving
Okay,
Heights that's distributing. That is in Nigeria. Roving Heights. There, I think Harvest dropped the link. You can kindly drop it again, Harvest, if you can.
another
Find
location.
it.
It's okay.
Yeah, and then for other locations, it's on Amazon, right? It's on Amazon, so you
Amazon.
can
Okay,
buy the
okay,
e-copy, and if you want the paperback as well, you can order one on Amazon, and it will be delivered to you wherever you are, in the globe.
okay.
Yes,
Okay, so thank you very much, Sholak. I think we've answered practically all the questions, and
yes.
I really want to appreciate our community members. I want to appreciate our guests for joining us today on today's Women's Sport Wednesday. So, for those of you that are new, don't forget to reach out to the person that invited you to learn more about the Untamed. You can also visit our website, right, and check us out on our website www.theuntamed.com or 9ng.theuntamed.com, so you can learn more about what we do, how we're building a global community, and how we also building a global business, leveraging on social selling model. So we look forward to see you in our community. We usually have different meetings where we tell people more about your team, which happens on Tuesday 8 p.m. and also Saturday 8 p.m. But this time around, we look forward, make sure you reach out to your friends. We look forward to have you in our next prospect meeting. So thank you very much, Sholakwe, for having you today. I'm so happy to have you on our platform. And not just that, I'm also happy that the first time we connected, you also bought our product also to have an experience what the Untame is also all about. So thank you very much. We're going to stay in touch because we're also going to do a lot of things together, being that we share interests when it comes to women. I don't know if
Yes.
I told you, the vision of the Untame is actually to ignite uncompromising change for women. So this is actually what our vision is.
Wow,
Yes. So I don't know if I
amazing,
mentioned this to you. Yes.
amazing.
Diana Rose said, I always love books written by Africans. It's easy to relate, especially on investments.
You're
That's true,
right.
Diana Rose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So on this note, I would like to say thank you everyone for joining us. Shope, do you have any word to leave to our community members before you leave the stage? Do you have any word to leave? Because there is something you mentioned. You said, do you actually have a target that you set for your business? Because for some who
Mm,
are asking for pension, who are asking for different reasons, this could also be an opportunity for them to, save from, their day to day.
yeah.
So maybe having a day to day target set for their business so they can be able to save or maybe create their pension plan for those who are entrepreneurs. So it all depends. So, but do you have any message for us before you leave?
Well, yeah, most importantly, I would say that lean into your strength. Um, and
That's
then
it.
make sure that you're not just winging it. Wealth doesn't just happen accidentally, right? It takes effort. It requires knowledge. Being on this call is because you want that knowledge. It requires effort. It requires discipline. So yes, you know, put that discipline into action, and it starts by setting goals for yourself. What are your goals? What do you really want to achieve, right? And you realize that things pretty much takes care of itself, and expose yourself so much to intellectual, conversations and networks that will help you. So again, financial capital is key, but so is social capital and intellectual capital. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lakwe. Good to have you here. And thank you very much to all our community members. So this brings us to the end of today Women's Sports Wednesday. I look forward to see you again next week Wednesday. Please don't forget to, join this section. Remember what the objective of this section 8 is: for us to make sure that we impact knowledge. Learn all you need to build a sustainable business. And remember today that you need to do what? Save to what? Invest. And also learn. Don't forget that she talked about building your social capital, so which you can also, leverage on, and even on the contact you also have to start doing this, but this time being more intentional. So we've also shared all the handle where you can get the books, handle where you can get download the books, download the app, and don't forget to also make more inquiries. Okay, if you need to. Then, if you need to also reach her personally, she's going to send a contact that you can also be able to speak to her directly in case you need more information. So thank you all for joining us today. So don't forget, we love you all in the Untamed community. To all our guests, thank you and have a very fantastic evening. Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you.